Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Dave, and welcome to Elroy District. Now, the last time you and I saw each other, I was in a bit of distress moving all my plants from California here to Georgia. A lot of my plants need rehab now that I have settled in. And the first genre of plants that I want to work with are anthuriums. So listen, the anthurium trend does not look like it's going anywhere anytime soon like I thought it would. So I thought I'd provide some content once again to let you all know some of the unconventional things that I do to take care of my anthuriums. So stay tuned. So on the topic of rehab, I was thinking it's October, it's about to be Halloween, so maybe I should get in character. All right, y'all, just call me Dr. Dave, because I need to get in here and operate. Okay, so the first patient I have waiting in the waiting room just so happens to be a doctor himself. He's been trying to see me for months now, and let's just get straight to it. The first plant that we will be working with is the Anthurium Doc Block. Okay, so my first patient, the Anthurium Doc Block. Check out the new leaf on this one. That's like a really nice leaf. Let me see, just about as big as my head, and I have a big head. My head is actually really big, like I could just boom, break this kitchen island in half if I really wanted to. Okay, so the other leaf, it got burnt up during transit, all kind of hell broke loose with this second leaf, but this leaf right here came out amazing. That's how I know that this plant has kind of acclimated to this new environment. So, I actually don't know what I really want to do with this plant. I really don't know. And that brings me to this point. By the way, some of my care tips and some of the things that I do in this video it's purely for entertainment. If you are educated by some of the things that I do, then take it if you will, but leave it if you won't. All right, because I do some things that are a little bit unconventional, and sometimes I just want people to respect the fact that I'm doing things based off of my experience and a little bit based off of my instinct. All right, so let me figure out what I want to do with the Anthurium Doc Block. Okay, so I had it in my mind that I wanted to use this device right here. Believe it or not, this is actually a plant pot. We're not going to be working with it, but I want to inform you on what these are. So this is made out of plastic, and this sheet has holes all throughout it, and it provides anthuriums with the perfect amount of aeration. And I noticed that anthuriums grow really fast when using these. Pretty much the reason why I'm not using it is because there's some plastic screws that go with this, and I guess when I moved out here I didn't bring those plastic screws, so I can't use this stack of pots. Maybe I can find them online and I'll be able to use them, but let me pull in close and show you how these go. So this is a plastic sheet. It comes with this base like this. You unfold this, see it opens up, and it has holes all throughout it. You line this base up along the bottom of here. Pretty much line this base up, and you wrap this plastic around like that. And the screws go inside the holes and hold it all together. And then you have a pot like this. Tell me, ain't that cool? I bought these used for like $20 on Amazon. I'll try to put the link up if I can find it, but all of these holes at the edge of this pot provides a lot of aeration, and I could fill this up with like moss, bark, whatever. And the anthuriums really do love it. Like I'm telling you, no lie on that one. But that's how this goes. I won't be able to, let's see. I don't think I can do any type of impromptu to hold this pot together. It's supposed to be held together so that it doesn't come apart like that, you know. But let's just remix and do something else. All right, so we're gonna do a bit of a remix situation. I did go over to Goodwill and got some good things. I got this glass vessel. I got this basket right here. This basket is kind of cool. It has like a little tile decorative front. Got this for $3. So I'm gonna do a no drainage situation and put the Anthurium in this glass vessel. So let's get to it. I'm gonna show you some things going on with the roots. Hopefully this plant will be a good example of the lesson I'm trying to teach when it comes to Anthurium roots. All right, I got my cement bucket, so let's get this out of here. There's really no need for me to be gentle with Anthurium plants, and most of the time they tough. And if you look at these kind of roots, they be looking like udon noodles, if you know what udon noodles are. All right, let's get into it. Shake, 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 shake. You're gonna shake that out. The roots that I've coiled at the bottom, I'm trying to straighten those out. You know, you want to straighten out those roots at the bottom. Let me see if I could pull y'all in closer with this camera. So now that we have the plant out of the pot, like I said, I want to straighten the roots out a bit. Once again, I don't really have to be gentle. I don't really care about that right now. Just untangle these roots as much as you can. That's what I want. So boom. That brings me to my first point. Let me get close. When it comes to Anthuriums, when it comes to this stock right here, this is the stock, this is where the leaves are coming out of. The roots at the top are the most important. So if you can find where the root starts and pull out that one, that is the root that's very important. The higher the root, the higher up the root is, the more important that root is to growing new leaves and keeping the plant. So this root here, it starts from way up here. So therefore I want to kind of untangle that one if I could. And that's the root that I want to save. And the reason why I'm saying that is because anything that's much lower down on this root stock, I'm actually going to cut off. So take a look at the root stock of this plant. This root is coming up from higher up on the stock. So I trace that down and I untangle it. I want to put this one over to the side. And these lower roots right here, I do not really need. I could bonsai this plant. I can either cut it and propagate it, or I can cut those roots and throw them away. That's what I do just so I can keep the pot size down on these Anthuriums, because they actually do grow a really big root system. But just for the sake of this video, I'll actually try and make a cut for propagation. So if y'all can kind of see where I'm cutting, the lower part of this stock is where I'm gonna cut, and it should already have a root system. So there you go. This lower part, this is at the very bottom of the stock. I don't know if it has, oh, it does sort of have a growing eye. Yeah, it does have a growing eye. So what I'll do is I'll clean this up and I'll put this in some moss and see if it grows me another plant. But in the meantime, this is the root system that I'm left over with for this plant, and this is what I'll be potting up. Okay, so now that I have the root system that I want to work with, let's address this ugly ass leaf right here. Get rid of that. Now we got a one leafer. The one leafer has enough root system to keep on thriving and keep on going. So let's do that, and we're gonna work on this glass vessel here. Okay, so for starters, with this glass vessel, I put some lump charcoal at the bottom. I have a really big bag of just pure charcoal out in my garage. That's why my hands is black. I had to reach down in that big bag and pull out some of the charcoal pieces. I'm gonna put that at the bottom. All right, so my next step is I put a little bit of gravel and perlite at the bottom because I needed something to fill in the surface area along the bottom. If there's ever any water that sits at the bottom of this container, I don't want any of the substrate to be touching that sitting water, and it kind of makes the drainless vessel anaerobic. I still want some airflow in here. I don't want that water to seep up and touch all the substrate and kind of make things a good home for root rot. So I'm doing what I can. I'm gonna put gravel and inorganic material along the bottom so that the substrate cannot touch the sitting water. Okay, so my next step is I add just a little bit of sphagnum moss to the top of the rocks so that any water at the bottom, it can kind of wick up through the sphagnum moss. And then now I'm gonna fill it up with my Anthurium potting mix. Let me show y'all that. Okay, so this is more so an all-purpose aeroid mix. No soil at all in here. We have cocoa husk, sphagnum moss, lots of perlite, a little bit of leftover path cow. We do have some pea gravel and Osmocote slow release fertilizers. So pretty much a lot of things that I had left over in the bag, I pretty much made an aeroid mix out of that. But the main component is the cocoa chunks. Now this is very fluffy. It should not compact down. And this is what I like to use for most of my aeroids. So this can hold on to moisture and still provide airflow. So let's fill this glass vessel up with that. Okay, the best way for me not to make a mess is to put the pot inside of this container and fill it up. Okay, so we about halfway full. I think I can go ahead and put this in here now. So the roots are sprawled out. What I like to do is sit it down and twist the plant in circles. The roots will kind of start to sort themselves out. And boom. The roots down in there. I can continue to fill this up now. Okay, so we have this Anthurium potted all up. You see the layers going on with this, and it has a nice Anthurium mix to it. So the key to a healthy Anthurium is you want a substrate that can have airflow but also still stay moist. And I mean, if you search around, the best material to do that with is some type of moss, some type of bark. Tree fern fiber is also amazing. I'm not spending all that money on that, so I'll stick with the cocoa chunks. The chunks of the cocoa, they add that, you know, they have pockets for airflow. So I had this basket here. One of the things that will happen when you use a glass vessel is if the light is hitting this glass vessel, algae will start to grow inside of this pot. I don't want to have to deal with that for quite a while, so I'm going to put this glass right inside of this basket, and boom, that's the Anthurium dot black. Surgery successful. All right, so we're done with the Anthurium dot black. Some of y'all may be asking, how do you maintain a setup like that? Well, when you put moss at the top of that pot, you can water it. Any excess water that's sitting at the bottom, you can put your hand over that moss and then you could dump the water out, boom, and then that's it. Just because the vessel is enclosed, it adds a lot of humidity to the roots, so I find it to be one of the easiest setups for a plant like an Anthurium. So let's move on to our next patient. I actually need to go upstairs and pick out who's gonna be the next cast member. Like, hold on, I'll be back. Okay, this here is the next Anthurium. This is a Anthurium Ace of Spade crossed with Papillilaminum. It has some other names in there like Fort Sherman and all that kind of stuff, but I don't have the bandwidth to keep up with all them extra names. I just know that this is Ace of Spade crossed with Papillium. So check that out. This has actually been doing very well growing in a grow bag. This is a fabric bag and this plant is just taking off as soon as I put it in here. Why is that? Because the fabric bag provides a lot of air. Like I said, the key to a healthy Anthurium, I'm starting to realize, is the airflow, the moisture, and I'll add this on, cooler temperatures. So it is October, and that's kind of the reason why I wanted to rehab these Anthurium now, because early spring and well into the fall is when Anthuriums grow the best for me. So if I'm gonna be uprooting them and clipping the roots and doing certain things to them, I'd rather do it when they grow the most. So fall is Anthurium season for me. So let's get to it. Let's see what we're gonna do. I think that this Anthurium has maxed out this little grow bag, and I want to get it in something a little bit more decorative. So let me show y'all what I'm gonna do. So this Anthurium is going in this piece of pottery. Oh yeah, we gonna do it. We are gonna do it. I feel very comfortable putting this plant in here because I do have a smaller seedling duplicate of this plant. So this one has proven itself to be quite hardy, and I'm using this because I have a room over here, a little office room that's painted all black. So the fact that I have a lot of artistic decor in there, I wanted to set it up with some nice things, and I'm trying to get out of this whole nursery look. You know, a lot of my plants are in that either some type of nursery pot or something. I want something more decorative, so I'm gonna just bite the bullet and go ahead and start setting my plants up the way that I literally want to see them. So let's do that. Y'all, look how healthy the roots are when you use these little grow bags. I got these off of Amazon as well. I'll put a link up, but these are really good to grow your plants out. So none of the roots coiled around the bottom of this bag, because these fabric bags are designed to make plants not do that, you know. So the plant will like hit the edge of the pot and go back the other way instead of making a coil along the bottom. But how healthy, and it just smells so fresh because of the airflow that this bag provides. So that's what I'm working with. Some of these cosmetically damaged leaves I'm gonna be taking off, and I'm gonna just pot this right up. But that new emergent is crazy. So I brought this Anthurium down to only 2 leaves. I think that'll be good. This is a nice little root system, but if you can see along back here, it's actually putting out another growth point. So this plant is trying to like pretty much mound up, and it'll like put out multiple growth points, and then you'll have a whole new Anthurium plant. So this is what I'm working with. I'm gonna pot it up. Okay, now this is what I like to see. Now this looks very intentional. It looks very artistic. This is kind of how I would like to see my Anthurium set up. Very decorative. This nice ceramic pot, drainless, and you know, a tip for if you're gonna do a drainless situation, once you use a clear vessel, once you use that long enough, you can kind of graduate up to like a ceramic pot that you cannot see through. You kind of start to learn how to work with them when you use the clear, and after you become a pro at that, move up to a piece of pottery or something, you know. Same, pretty much the same care. So that is this Ace of Spade Papillium hybrid. I'm loving that one. That's gonna look good in the spot that I'm putting it in. Next on the operating table is this Anthurium Magnificum Silver crossed with Luxuriance. Let me show y'all up close. Check that one out. So this one doesn't need too much. It's not, this one hasn't been proven to be very hardy just yet. It's still, it's actually getting out of that seedling phase. Took a while, but what I'm gonna do is Y'all remember the pot that the dock block just came up out of? There's the dock block right over there. I'm gonna put this one in that pot. Boom, the cycle continues. So as far as rehabbing this one, I actually want to take off the lower leaves and plant this one a little bit deeper because I see the roots coming out the bottom, if you can see that. No need to be gentle, just break it on up. And then just pluck off these leaves that you don't want no more. I'll leave this with 2.5 leaves. It has 2 leaves, and if y'all can see that, we got one. Let me pull it up. We got another one on the way. So I ain't gonna play with this one too much. I'm gonna just pot it up in a bigger pot. Here's the pot that the dock block came out of. This little nigga really trying to grow, so let me put him a little. And this one is all done. So that's all the rehabbing I'm gonna do for this video, but let me show y'all some of the plants that I have set up in a new pot. Hold on. So this here is my very own Anthurium Rehab. Now this is the hybrid that I created. This is the biggest one that I have. This is Crystal Mag crossed with the Dark Forgetti Eye. To put out this new leaf, the emergent leaves are starting to become red, and if you check it out, it definitely does not have a sinus. So it does have some of that Dark Forgetti Eye traits in there, but I don't know, this leaf might get quite huge. But I set this up in a little self-watering pot. It's almost ready to graduate to another pot. Look at the roots coming out, if you can see that. You know, I just potted up, put a little bit of gravel and moss around the base so that the roots can start to go down, and that's how I set this one up. But I'm happy about this one because this is the one and only hybrid that I created myself. So check that out. So this one here is a newcomer. This is the Anthurium SP Marona. I believe that's what they call it, but this is like one of the pendant anthuriums. And believe it or not, I got this off of Amazon. It was a very good price on Amazon. I forgot the seller's name. I'll put it up on the screen. Believe it or not, I got this one off of Amazon. Like, yeah, the Amazon app. It was a very good price, and the seller, they packed it very well, and they gave me a free plant along with this one. But I'm trying to get this one together because it was upright in the box when it shipped. So that's why these leaves are sticking out like this, but they normally kind of cascade down like the Polyflorum and all of those other ones. But this one is like very hardy. It shipped very well, and I highly recommend this one because once it gets really long, I'm gonna put this one up in the sky. Y'all gonna see where I put it. But I need it to grow out first before I set it up the way that I really want. So yeah, that's that one. All right, so that's all I got for y'all. I'm really excited about this setup. I have a few more of these type of pots, this kind of decorative pottery, and I'm gonna be doing stuff with these. So that's why I'm excited about how this came out. I definitely like the look of it. Yeah, so that's all I got for this video. I definitely want to give some shout outs. Shout out to Steve from I Lift Plants. Shout out to Mona from Plant Therapy because I just bought one of the Hoyas that she offers for sale on, what is that called? Palm Street. And it was just, my Hoya video, I'll talk about it, but shout out to her. And shout out to Jasmina Lowe for coming back. Y'all, all the channels that I'm mentioning, y'all entertain me in between time when I'm trying to get stuff together. And I'm not really putting out content, but I'm slowly coming back, and this got me excited. So I'm preparing for a big plant tour. Appreciate all my new subscribers. Like, I really appreciate y'all. Y'all keep me motivated to keep putting out content. So see y'all on the next one.